Just had to share this with you. This is absolutely marvelous, this clip. I think I have a lot of respect for Teamsters President Sean O'Brien, who recently talked to Tucker Carlson, and what he shares about the arrogance, pompousness, the hubris, the danger of we came so close. It is just terrifying. It gives me chills just even saying it right now, thinking about the what ifs. If we would have lost on November 5th, there's just no telling. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not being, dramatic when I say this. It literally would have been the end of our glorious republic. I'm going to share with you a couple of clips of a no BS, straight from the heart, full of authenticity, Sean O'Brien talking about what Kamala did when they were supposed to meet. One of the biggest unions, one of the biggest endorsements you could ever get, the Teamsters. I mean, this is long, iconic organization in American, across the American landscape. This first clip is just going to blow your mind. Watch this.
In your meeting with him, it was obvious that he
it was. So we give 16 questions 2 weeks in advance, the same 16 questions to each candidate. So, RFK answered all 16 questions. Probably most of them didn't answer them how we would like them to answer them, but they answered them. Joe Biden came in and he answered 5 of them. Donald Trump answered all 16. And then when Biden drops out of the race, but prior to Biden dropping out of the race, he's in the race around June or May. One of my vice presidents, a woman named Joan Corey out of my local, she sits on our general executive board, was at an event with Vice President Harris. And, they're going through the line to get the picture, and Joan introduces herself to Vice President Harris, says, "I'm Joan Corey. I'm on the general executive board for the Teamsters." She goes, "Teamsters? You better get on board. You better get on board. Better get on board soon." Says it to my vice president.
To her face?
To her face. So she comes back. We have the meeting the next day.
Damn.
And she tells me this.
I thought I was arrogant. That's really arrogant.
So she tells me this. So I call up Marty Walsh. He wasn't the Secretary of Labor, but, he was pushing hard for us to make the endorsement. I'm like, let me ask you a question, Marty. Excuse my French. Who does this lady think she is? Like, if I want to support from any organization, I am not going to point my finger in someone's face and say, you better get on board or else. But that's the attitude of this whole party. So fast forward, she finally agrees to come after we were putting pressure on her, basically, because I was doing interviews all over the place saying, we haven't got invited to the DNC. They haven't accepted our invitation for her to come to a roundtable. So she comes to the roundtable. Same format, same questions. Rank and file members are asking her questions just like they asked every other candidate. And they were trying to negotiate with us. She only wants to answer 3 questions. We're like, there's 16 questions here. So she answers 3 of them. And on the 4th question, one of her operatives or one of her staff slips a note in front of me. This will be the last question. And it was 20 minutes earlier than the time that it was going to end.
Come on.
100%. And so, you're there trying to get our support. And her declaration on the way out was, I'm going to win with you or without you.
She thought that or said it out loud?
She said it out loud.
That's insane.
So
that's crazy behavior, actually, if you think about it.
It was insane behavior, which at that point in time, I knew she was going to lose.
I wish I could say I was surprised. I literally wish I could say I was surprised. When I say that I've worked with these people, I was a professor. They are all unbelievably smug, condescending, self-absorbed, self-important, narcissistic, look down their nose. They have unwarranted, soulless hubris. She is the personification of these people. She is the absolute exemplification of phony. There is not an authentic bone in her body. Her whole joy campaign and all that BS. My fellow Americans, my fellow global citizens, I'm telling you, I do not exaggerate. There is no hyperbole when I say this. We dodged the most dangerous bullet ever imaginable. It literally would have cracked the seam of our beautiful, glorious republic, which would have affected the entire world. This is the biggest scandal of all time. This whole, I'm for you. And now she wants to run in 2028. Now she wants to be the governor of my home state, California. Are you out of your effing mind? Are you kidding me? Are you nuts? If the media had not propped her up, I know you've seen the statistic where Kamala received 96% positive news and stories reflected in the corrupt media, woke propagandist media, and Trump exact opposite, negative, something like 92, same exact percentage, but the antithesis. If the media actually told the truth about this vermin, if the media actually showed her without the mask on, the facade of joy and all that BS, and she cares about people, and I'm a woman, and I care about women. She doesn't care about anybody. None of them do. Chuck the Buck, Schumer, pushing up Daisy's Pelosi, Gavin Newsom, the Satan's son, Gavin Newsom. None of them care about you. They only care about one thing and one thing only, power. I wish I could say I was surprised by that. Pointing your finger, saying you better get on board. He's absolutely right. Who the hell do you think you are? You're nobody. You're nobody. But even if you were somebody, Tucker's right. That's irrational. That is psychotic behavior. You're entering a position where you were supposed to be the stalwart of public service. You're a servant. You serve the public. Their endorsement can literally make or break your entire campaign. And you have the audacity to point your finger at the executive and say, you better get on board or else I'm going to win with or without you. I'm only going to take 3 questions. And you have one of your lackeys come and put a little index card saying this is definitely going to be the last question. When Trump answered all 16, RFK Jr. answered all 16, Trump was one of the first people to say, I'm definitely going to be there. I wish I could say I was surprised, but I'm not. I've got another clip for you. Check this out.
Everybody was Democrat.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody was Democrat. Now you talk to people, and look, sometimes people will talk to you and they'll tell you, hey, I seen you on the RNC, great job. And you know, like, they've been talking shit online because you see it, whatever. But I think the majority of the people are fed up.
Totally
fed up.
But I'm just saying that whole world of organized, at least in your union, like just the people in it, you know, they were all Democrats, but they were all kind of traditional social. They have families, like they care about pensions. They believe in
generational.
They believe in generations. Exactly right. They believe in continuity,
right?
As you said at the beginning. It's not even political. It's a mindset. It's a worldview. And that whole group is like so out of step with the Democratic Party that I'm not really sure how that's ever fixed.
No, but and then, you know, you make a great point. So through this whole year, let's say, right, the Republicans, and we've worked with a lot of great Republicans in the Senate. Josh Hawley's been great with us.
Yeah. JD Vance has been great with us.
Our boy Josh.
Roger Marshall has been great. And, you know, I'll give you Josh Hawley, for instance. Josh Hawley was, you know, we met with him. We had a conversation. Didn't know him. Had a conversation with him early on, and we were telling him, like, look, one of our biggest issues is national right to work. And we explained to him why the right to work is not good for this country, why it's not good for his constituency. And soon after that meeting, he came out with a statement on X saying, I met with the Teamsters Union. You know, I'm supportive of working people, and, you know, they've basically educated. We've talked about right to work, and I don't support national right to work. And then we had a strike with a company in his state, Gray Bar. He went out and walked the picket line, and that strike was settled the next day. Now, I'm not saying because he walked the picket line, but he demonstrated that that's what he's willing to do because his constituency works there. Those are the people that he represents.
Who vote for him. That's right.
And you know, he's been great on our issues, you know, and I think the Republicans have a great opportunity right now to show working people that what they were saying during the election is going to hold true. And I think Trump proved early on when he actually listened to us and when we lobbied for Laurie Chavez de Riemer to be the labor secretary. Now, you know, I don't think it was a popular decision from a lot of his donors that supported him. But, you know, I went down and I had a frank conversation with the president. I'm like, look, this is important to us. You know, if you truly want to show that you're going to, you know, embrace working people and work hard on their behalf, this is an early indicator that you're willing to do this. And he did it. So, you know, people that are saying Trump's anti-labor, he's anti-worker, I mean, look, he started off on a great footing. I mean, he named the Secretary of Labor.
Look at who voted for him. I mean, Look at who voted for him. You go to rural America, you know, where there are no people who aren't, quote, workers. I mean, you know, most people didn't go to college. They work. They have back problems by the age of 40 because they work with their bodies. They all vote Trump. There's not anyone who didn't vote Trump.
I've got back problems from the last 8 months of the knife wounds from the far left in the Democratic Party.
I've got back problems from sitting in an anchor chair my whole life. It's a very tough job, Sean.
Sit up straight.
But, you know, here's one. Okay, so obviously the Republican Party is in the middle of this total change. It saw itself as the party of big business. It's clearly not. Its voters aren't, and its donors aren't increasingly. But I think there are a lot of Republicans, especially in the Senate, like Mitch McConnell, who just have not. Well, Mitch McConnell is a really bad person, but so he's a specific case. But there are like decent people who just haven't sort of made the mental change that they're not the party that they thought they were.
Well, I think part of that problem is we haven't had the conversations with those folks either. I
totally agree.
Because there's been such a line drawn in the sand where if you were on one side or the other, especially in our world, labor, if you're a Democrat, you shouldn't be talking to the Republicans. But I'm like, that's.
I agree.
How are we going to get stuff done in this country?
I just absolutely love that interview. I highly recommend you go check out the entire interview. He even talks a lot about Chuck Schumer and just other shadiness and behind the scenes. I just think it's a great interview. Go check it out. You just go to Tucker Carlson's channel and check it out. He also posted the entire interview on X. By the way, follow me on X. I'm Professor Nez. But my fellow Americans, my fellow global citizens, there is no telling what would have happened. You did the right thing. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. You did the right thing by setting the mandate on November 5th. God bless you all. Because if this woman would have won, I mean, it would have literally spelled the end of everything we know and love about our glorious country. I truly believe with every fiber of my being, every molecule in my body, we are headed for the golden era. Everybody's going to prosper. You, me, your kids, your grandkids, your neighbors, your loved ones, people who hate Trump are going to prosper. Everybody's going to prosper. We are so back. If you want to know where you can get one of these 100% made in the USA original, we got hoodies, hats, shirts, mugs, teacups, water bottles, fanny packs, you name it. Link in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. Original 100% made in the USA. Nez Nation Patriot merch. Go grab it right now. You're not going to get it in time for Christmas. We're not Amazon, so you're not going to get it. I'm just being honest and transparent. But it's amazing stuff. So make sure you go get yours. And by the way, happy Merry Christmas. I hope you guys are doing fantastic. We're just a few days away. You know your boy Nez is never going to stop. So hit that like button, subscribe, and follow. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. You can tap my face right there to follow and subscribe. It's absolutely free. And as always, may God bless you. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you soon.